further during the year, Jupiter will repeatedly make conjunctions with Pluto. And finally, in December 2020, will conjunct with Saturn. So now I will say a few words about those other two important meetings of Jupiter. Jupiter and Pluto first. Jupiter was the last time in Capricorn at the end of 2007, and look what was happening in that time. Just when Jupiter was at the end of Sagittarius sign in 2007, Jupiter met with Pluto in Sagittarius, and after that, Jupiter and Pluto, both of them, entered the sign of Capricorn. So it was something very similar to that what is going to happen now, because Jupiter and Pluto will meet again in 2020, just in the other sign. So, so-called crises that happened since the 2008 were provoked not only because Pluto entered the Capricorn sign, but because Pluto met with Jupiter just before that. And they met in Sagittarius sign. So what this means? Well, that meant that there was a great greed for power in that time, and that people wanted to gain extraordinary wealth, which is always happening when Jupiter with Pluto meets. And because they met in Sagittarius, that meant actually that certain groups are ready to make wars, even religious wars, because of Sagittarius, in order to gain enormous material wealth. So the decision was making to make religious wars when this meeting of those two planets was in Sagittarius, and they were really working on that when those planets were transiting later on in Capricorn. So this circle finishes. This was 12-year circle. It will finishes now. It is quite possible that people will try to do the same thing, to create wars, maybe because of a little bit different reasons. They will not use religion maybe now, maybe something else, maybe religious differences also. We will see. But this time will not be that easy. There are going to be attempts to do the same thing, but it will not be easy because there is a lot of control from Saturn. In the year 2020, Jupiter and Pluto will meet 3 times. It will be at the end of March and beginning of April. Then they will meet in June and November, always in 24th, 22nd degree of Capricorn. What is good about this? It is that this conjunction is known as Phoenix. So this is the situation where life re-emerges from the ashes. And that's something that we need as a collective. Also, this aspect signifies a great hunger for wealth again, as we said. So maybe many will try to repeat the scenario we described. Or maybe because we know more, we are more intelligent as a collective, there are also politically influenced people who are aware of this. Maybe this can be stopped and people can emerge as a phoenix. Their needs can emerge as a phoenix now. We'll see. One thing is now important. We should not exaggerate anything because Jupiter and Pluto are meeting in Capricorn sign. So everything will be controlled by Saturn that is in Capricorn. So maybe at certain points during the year, the hunger for wealth can be satisfied, can be even good for some people, but finally everything will be according to justice. So we should be careful not to exaggerate any our desire. In essence, every of those conjunctions between Jupiter and Pluto, and there are going to be 3 of them, we said, we symbolize that some groups are ready to risk. So we'll see. We'll see. I am saying it is better to be modest, but yes, at certain points, those who know how to play this game well can even gain great wealth and maybe can have good results later on in the future. Maybe some will be punished. We don't know. Depends how we use the energy.